Music for 18 musicians made a huge difference in my own life. I had my own ensemble starting very actively about 1972 when we started going to Europe and then eventually Japan and elsewhere around the globe. To see these, geographically diverse groups all being very, 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 very positive in their reactions and having musicians of all different types, whether it was David Bowie or other people in the pop world. The appeal of this piece seems to be durable. It was a complete change in my personal, existence. It was just clear that this was really a good piece. Music for 18 musicians is in 11 sections, based on 11 chords, which are closely related one to another. Most harmonies are based on the movement of the roots, the basses. The harmonic movement in Music for 18 musicians is based on the middle register. The root movement is not clear, and purposely so. Presenting something in the middle register, which can be a part of a number of chords or a number of different forms, gives you a possibility of constancy with a great deal of variety down at the bottom. You can play a melody over and over again, and you could say it's a repeating pattern, but if you harmonize it differently, changing the accent within, what you really perceive is this constantly varied, long melody because of where the harmonic rhythm is hitting that melody. And because of the nature of the human breath and the breath necessary to play the clarinets, the presence of the singers and the presence of the clarinets and that opening pulsing became essential to the character of the piece. So the whole arc of it is it starts slowly, and they actually would do it like this, bringing the microphone closer and further away. And the clarinets would simply begin and run out of breath. They would taper off. That gesture had a huge effect on keeping a pulse running throughout the piece. It's entirely different to have that pulsed by human voices, which are on this arc, and by woodwinds who are overlapping them. And it was built into the score that these would all be separate and cascading upon themselves, so that there would be a constant change of timbre. As a music student, when I was way back at Cornell University in the 1950s, William Austin introduced me and the whole class to the works of Pérotin, who was a great composer and musician from France in the 12th century and was the pinnacle of what is called the Notre Dame School. What was particularly of interest to me in Pérotin's music was taking a pre-existing chant melody, let's just say da-da-da, ma-dia, or what have you, and say, instead of just ma-dia, you ma, quick, I'm running out of bed, and next I come in ma, and this one tone becomes a drone, around which you have da-da-dee-dee-dee-da-da-da-dee-da-da-da-da. In musicological terms, you augment it, you will lengthen it to enormous proportions. So you no longer hear it as a melody, you hear it as a series of drones, which are the harmonic center of different sections of the music. And in that sense, the same thinking that Pérotin was using applies to those 11 chords in Music for 18 musicians. Good ideas don't go out of fashion, they just get reapplied with new, completely unforeseen effects. And I have a great debt to that man who lived 900 years before I was even born. So I think that's a kind of ideal, is that music is written with a great deal of seriousness of purpose, with the highest level of craftsmanship that you can possibly bring to it, and that lots of people love it. I mean, who could ask for anything more? In the words of another great composer.